I always start with my family because my family is the greatest support system. My mom, my dad, my sisters. It wasn't easy being part of a family of girls because unfortunately the way people looks at a family with girls and no boys, it's like, oh, haram, which is very sad because I don't think it would have been the same reaction if it was a family of boys. I don't think we would have heard something like haram or yalla inshallah next time, you know what I mean? That in itself was very empowering because it was motivational enough to prove that girls are just as smart and just as ambitious and as strong as boys can be. And in my family, we never felt the difference between being a family of girls or being a family of boys. We were very supported by our parents. We got the best education. We are quite a liberal family in terms of women rights. There was no difference that a girl gets treated differently from a boy. That in itself, I think that's where it all started. And being the eldest of my sisters, I think naturally made me more in charge. I majored in design management. I studied in the American University of Sharjah. And I started off in Mubadala Development Company as a communications officer. And then that's where my career started from. As a child and as a teenager, I always did my own business on the side. I used to design cards and sell them, greeting cards and Christmas and Valentine's and stuff, and make my own money. And then when I was in university, I used to work as a professor teaching assistant for two of my professors. I also did my card business on the side and developed it into embroidering little keychains and frames and stuff and selling them to professors and students during events. And I've always liked that feeling of earning my own money, bearing in mind that we got everything we needed. But it's always different when you make your own money. It just gives you that independence. I've been working for almost 10 years now. I started off as a communications officer, and today I'm the head of corporate communications and public affairs in Paris-Sorbonne University, Abu Dhabi. I now have a team of 4 employees, and in my previous job, I had a team of 27 people. Every step of the way was in itself somewhat challenging, and it develops me as a person because you always think that you can't do it, and then you realize, no, I can do it, and I can do it really good, and you start bragging because you feel like, oh my God, I didn't know I was capable of doing it. I had a recent experience now with my Postcard Initiative, and it started off as a personal commitment idea where I just wanted to send a postcard a week to stick to something and do something nice. It took me to places, and now I'm going to be selling my postcards this Ramadan, working with 30 artists, being endorsed by Noor Dubai Foundation, doing something for charity and getting interviewed by newspapers and TV and getting awarded by Emirates Post for promoting stamps and promoting the UAE culture. This was a small example that happened very recently, that you plan things. I'm a planner. I have a to-do list for everything. I have to-do lists for my to-do lists. I don't go with the flow. I don't know how to. It just makes me very uncomfortable. I need to have a plan. I need to know what's going to happen from step A to step B. I prepare my day for my daughter, for myself, for my family. But the thing is, with this project, it was scary, and it was overwhelming, and it was very rewarding, and that was shocking because none of it was planned. Things come up, and then I start planning according to what came up, and then the plan would change according to something else that comes up, and it turned out into something so beautiful and so powerful and so popular with no plans whatsoever. None whatsoever. It started off literally with me sending a postcard a week around the world, posting it on Instagram. By February, I had over 70 addresses from around the world. Today, I have over 250 postal addresses from over 100 cities and 40 countries around the world. I decided to turn it into something to do with charity. Spoke to Noor Dubai Foundation, got the endorsement from them in Islamic affairs. And then I contacted artists, and now I have wedding planners and designers, floral artists, cake artists, culinary artists, fashion designers, jewelry designers, abaya designers, architects, pottery artists, embroidery artists, illustrators, graphic designers, photographers. Every possible form of art is part of this initiative now, from different nationalities and countries, for one mandate, which is to restore the gift of sight through this initiative. You have an idea in your head, it sounds great, it looks great, it feels great, and then you try it and it looks nothing like you wanted it to, it feels nothing like you wanted it to, and it depresses you even more because it's like, why isn't this working out? And then sometimes an idea comes from an idea, and that's where the magic happens. I'm very hard on myself as a person, and someone just told me today that nothing's ever good enough for you. Like, it's because someone was taking a picture. I was like, it's fine. And they're like, yeah, it's never good enough for you. I'm a perfectionist. I am very hard on myself. I'm very hard on the people I love, just because I know they can do better. I treat them like I would treat myself. You know, like when I push myself to the extreme, I do the same with people I love. With my daughter, she's like, I don't want to go to ballet today. I was like, no, you have to go, and you're going to be good, and this is good for you. And she's like, yeah, but I hate stretching. And I'm like, after time, this would be easy for you. It's something you can do in your sleep. And it's just because life nowadays, it's very competitive. Back in the days, not everyone worked, and there were the job chances, the opportunities. It was more limited. But now everyone's qualified and everyone's working hard, and it's so competitive. You need to stand out to stand out, and the only way to stand out is to push yourself and to find that thing that will make you stand out. When I say stand out, I'm talking in a sense where stand out with a good deed, your motivation, your love to your profession. That's what drives me, with my family, with my friends, with my job, with my art. I'm a very passionate person, so I think the main driver would be me being passionate about the things I love. Never say never. You can never tell what you're capable of. You can never know how capable you are until you try things. And you can try and fail, because that's part of learning. And I've had a lot of failures. Looking back, I'm like, it wasn't that bad. But when you're in the situation, it's just like, it feels like it's the end of the world, and you feel like you can never get up after falling. And every time you get up, you're even stronger. It's just like going to the gym the first time, where you want to do a pull-up, and it's like, there's no way on earth I can do a pull-up. I can't do a plank. I'm gonna die. And then you do push-ups and pull-ups, and you're like, oh my God, I never knew that I had these muscles in me. It's the same thing with your personality. You develop yourself, and I don't think people can't change. I think everyone can change, because as human beings, we adapt. That's this is something that comes naturally. And people adapt to change, people adapt to situations, people adapt to people. And looking back, I think it develops me as a person, and people need to learn from their mistakes, and they have to have the willingness to move forward. There are so many points in our journey where you feel like you want to stop and give up. And I think that's when your true persona rises and pushes you to move forward. It's getting better, but I think it all starts within a person, like within the woman or the man, because we can all do all these inspirational talks, but at the end of the day, if you sit alone and you feel like you can't do it, no one can convince you that you can do it other than yourself. A woman needs to just get up and think, I can do it, and go do it. Stop talking about it, you know? It always starts in within. If everyone's telling you to go do it, or get up, or try something, and inside you don't feel like you want to, the drive has to start within. So the surrounding environment, yes, we're very lucky to be in this part of the world, because there is a lot of support to women. The Arab world, whether it was religion or lifestyle or social aspect of it, it's become very open, very, very supportive of women, because everyone wants to prove that we're supporting women, because now it's like the new thing. And I think women should make use of this and try to do their best. نحن قادرات. No, definitely we can do it.